Over the past 2 years, our relationships have become less connected and more superficial. As humans, one of our survival mechanisms is connecting with other humans, allowing us to feel safe and secure. One of my core values in my treatment process is to actually give a shit about helping the person in front of you. As the world has gone crazy over the past 2 years, we have become internally focused and more selfish, which is rightfully so given all the uncertainties out there. I am seeing a giant hole in the injury space of being able to genuinely have empathy for what someone is going through. I know that the word gets thrown out a lot by the bullshit gurus on the internet, but deep down in it is something we as practitioners need to get back to in order to really help people during these difficult times. In this episode, I share the most important question you must ask every single client that 99% of practitioners don't. I hope you enjoy the show. What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Soft Tissue Revolution podcast, where we teach massage therapists a new treatment method that focuses on working smarter, not harder, allowing them to double their income, all while working 50% less. Dr. Matt Maggio here. Thank you so much for stopping by and listening to the podcast. I always appreciate all the support, all the downloads we get from all over the place. Continues to motivate me to get this content out there and help people along the journey to becoming a true soft tissue specialist and solving problems and lowering the pain pill epidemic and getting people the treatment that they need and helping them get to a better place so they can stay the fuck away from pain pills, injections, and surgeries, which only make things worse. So the most important question to ask a client before ever treating them for the first time, this one was inspired last week. I was doing a call with a practitioner that's getting certified in the Peak method and doing a mentorship program with me. And part of that is we start in the idea of asking the right type of questions. You know, so much treatment is just like, hey, jump in there and see what happens. We're not really learning how to think critically and really being able to figure out the problem. I always say you can't fix a problem in the first place if you don't know what it is. And this is why conservative care treatment is haphazard, unpredictable, and really doesn't get long-lasting results. But let's just be honest here. The medical system just, it flat out sucks. It's full of lies, fake promises, and people are still in pain and they're losing everything. They're losing their focus. They're losing their ability to just live life. You know, being injured just absolutely sucks. Being in pain robs you of attention, and really you just miss out on a lot of things in life. And unfortunately, the medical system isn't in the business of actually solving people's problems. They just want to continue to keep them on the tit and keep them going, because if you fix a problem, there's no money in it for them. And that's very greedy. That's very selfish. And that's a shitty way to go about trying to genuinely help humans and make the world a better place. So the psychology of people in pain, it can fuck with you. I've been a chronic pain sufferer probably for the last 10 or 12 years. I blew out my back, blew out my neck, playing football, doing dumb shit, not taking care of myself. And yeah, I do live in chronic pain. I've learned to have a better relationship with that, understanding that there are things that I can do to improve myself, get treatment, not eat like shit, don't drink, take care of myself. But it still fucks with you. You know, it's always there. I always have this like in the back of my mind, like knowing like it's not going to be perfect. I'm not going to be pain-free, but I'm a hell of a lot better than where I used to be. And it helps me get a better idea and just more optimistic about the future, instead of being like, well, I have degenerative disc disease. That's just what it is. And fuck it. What else am I going to do? But the psychology of just humans in general is something that we miss a lot. I have a big, strong background in psychology. I actually did my undergrad in psychology. I've read so many books on psychology and human nature and behavior and all that, and really trying to understand people. And here's the thing that most people don't understand is that people buy off emotion and they justify with logic. As practitioners, we tend to be the real logical people. And we try to like get rid of people's emotions by showing them logic, and it just really doesn't work. I'd say 95% of the population, especially those that are injured and in pain and coming in to get a problem solved by you, they're very emotional. But we try to like be very logical. And as practitioners, I try not to see the world through my lens, because I'm just like, yeah, your shit's fucked up. Here's what we need to do. This. It doesn't work. You have to really connect with that person emotionally, because if you don't, you just keep trying to hit them with logic. It's going to be like banging your head against a wall. It's not going to get you anywhere. So understanding the idea that most people are emotional, and don't look at it through your lens. When I do coaching and training with so many practitioners, they fight me on this. They're like, well, there's too much emotion and too much like feeling in what you present and how you do it. I'm more of a logical person. Don't look at it that way. You're the 5%. We got to go after the 95%. And there's lots of questions that I ask before you treat them for the first time. I actually have a whole webinar on that, about the 12 questions you must ask. You must ask your client before ever going in there and treating them, thinking critically. I'll link those up in the show notes below. You can go back and watch that webinar and really get you on that path to thinking critically. And we really go into that deep in my free training. You can also get that listed down below, really get you figuring out exactly what questions to ask from there. And we have 12 questions that we ask. My last question though, and it really is the most important question, is once we go through everything, I stop and I just dead stop and I look them right in the eye or in the face and with like my full attention. And I say to them, how is this problem affecting your quality of life? And I just wait and I listen, and I genuinely want to know how this problem is affecting their quality of life. I got this the other day. Like I said, I was talking with one of my mentors, my mentorship clients, and basically they finally did it. They fought me on a lot of it. They would like ask the first 11 questions, but they kind of felt uncomfortable and weird asking this question. And they finally did. And they were amazed at what happened. The person actually started crying and got emotional and really opened up about what's going on and what they've been through and the shit they've been through and how everyone's fucked them over and they haven't got any better and they're young in that. And it really resonated with the practitioner. They're like, holy shit, like I actually listened and I understood what they were going through and I felt genuinely bad for them and I wanted to help them. And it's such an important question that so many people don't even take time to do. And when you ask that question, really fucking listen. Like listen, just shut your brain off and don't think about what you're going to say next. Just listen. Let that person talk. Let them share what's going on, because probably they've gone to a bunch of different practitioners and no one's actually like asked that question and taken the time to really genuinely like connect with them about what the fuck they're going through. Like people go through so much shit because at the end of the day, empathy and compassion is missing in the world. And it just all starts, like I said in the intro, with giving a shit about people and genuinely wanting to help them. You know, we all got into this for that reason. Hopefully, if you got into it just to make money and all that, well, you're an asshole. And I say that in the nicest way possible. Like we all got into this because we want to help people and we forget about that. So many things go on in the world. We're getting bombarded with all sorts of bullshit and stress and business and worrying about stuff. But at the root cause of it is like, you have to genuinely give a shit about helping people. And when you do that and you provide value and you provide solutions, the money will come, the freedom will come, but you have to start. And it's a non-negotiable. If you only going in this to make yourself better, you're never going to really grow and you'll be stuck. Because when you can be that person that genuinely shows empathy and compassion and understanding, they'll listen to you and they'll follow you and they'll do what you tell them to do. And they want you to be someone that can help solve their problem. And they'll be the best fucking clients you've ever had. And they're going to tell everyone about you because it shows that you genuinely care, because everyone else is going through the motions. They're just trying to see how much money they can get out of somebody or how they can pass them along through the system. And the system is completely broken and we're in worse pain pill problems, fentanyl, all sorts of shit, because we've lost our compassion. We've lost our compassion as humans. We've lost our empathy. And this isn't like that guru, like, oh, have empathy and feel good. No, like genuinely feel fucking empathy for what's going on for someone and listen to them. Just listen. don't want to talk, just listen and see what they go through and then relate with them. After someone tells me that, I say, you know what, I'm really sorry to hear you've gone through that and really gone through the ringer of the medical system. But one thing I can assure you is you're in the right place to get this figured out. We've helped a lot of people out of some bad situations, just like yours, all because we took the time to properly assess them and apply the right treatment. So I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you found me, because we need to get this moving in the right direction instead of the wrong direction like it's been going. So give a shit about people. So let me give you a few action steps that can kind of help you here. Number one is just ask all the questions every time. The 12 questions I have, they are your cornerstone, your foundation of being able to accurately figure out what's wrong with your client. Because like I said, you can't fix a fucking problem if you don't know what it is in the first place, and connect with them emotionally about what's going on so they know that you genuinely care. Go in and get all that free training. We go through all that. I put this shit out there because I want people to help more people and just help people get better treatment across the board. Number two is like your website. Go through your website and understand that there's way too much logic on there, and you need more connection about how you can actually solve the problem. As practitioners, we tend to go over the features of what we do. Like we do this, this, and this, and this, and this, and this, and a lot of this. But we don't actually go over the benefits of what we can do. Is like getting them out of pain, helping them play with their kids, helping them move better, feel better, all that stuff, and make your website more about the emotional side of things instead of the logical of like the nuts and bolts of what you do. Because at the end of the day, no one cares what you do or how you do it. They just care that you can do it and that you understand what they're going through. And lastly, when you have this emotional connection, you can actually use this against the clients a little later on in the treatment process when they start getting greedy and they want more things. Like maybe they do got a lot of degeneration. Maybe they're older and you got them 85, 90% and they want that last 10% and they get mad and they get frustrated. And you have to remind them of like where they were and where they were going. I always say to people when I first start, I'm saying the only thing worse than where this is where it's going. And people often forget as they start feeling better where they came from. So it's going back and reminding them of what they couldn't do. But like, hey, when you came in here, you couldn't even walk for 10 minutes without pain. Now you're running 5 miles. How much better is your quality of life? And continuing to check in with people on that side and connecting with them emotionally. But once you connect with them emotionally, you can show them logically with data, with measurements, with tests, which I teach in my methods and my trainings, that they are getting better because they buy off emotion, but then they justify with logic as they go. So that's all I got for this one. Hope it resonates with you. Hope you understand that like the world is lacking in that empathy and that compassion. And the more you can dial into this, the more you can help people, you can help yourself, and you can get the practice and the business that you truly love and you deserve. Share the show with anyone that you know can help. Follow us on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. I post on there all the time. And if you haven't got the free training, at least get the free training. It's better than any like paid course out there. And that's not me just saying my shit's better than everyone else, but it really is, because it will give you so much insight and foundation to becoming a true solutions provider and not get stuck in that service mentality of selling your time for money. Appreciate you guys, and I will see you on the next one. Bye. Thanks so much for listening. If you want help on the path to being able to double your income, all while working 50% less and being taken seriously as a healthcare provider, I have some great resources for you. Number one, get access to our free training modules and introduction to my system, the Peak Method. Number two, subscribe to our YouTube channel, The Soft Tissue Revolution. Links to all of this can be found in the show notes. Lastly, if you like the show, please leave us a 5-star review and share it with others that you know it could help.